Let me ask you a simple question. What if I told you that in the next 30 days, you could transform your mindset, your health, your energy, and your success just by changing a few things you do each day? Not a course, not a magic pill, just your habits. You see, people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what a single habit done consistently can do in a month. Greatness doesn't come from motivation, it comes from discipline. And discipline is just choosing the right habit and repeating it. So today, I want to give you 5 daily habits, just 5, that if you follow them for the next 30 days, will not only change your routine, they'll change your life. Waking up early isn't just about setting your alarm at 5 a.m. and dragging yourself out of bed. It's a complete mindset shift, a declaration to the universe that you are ready to take control of your life. Those early morning hours are some of the most powerful and productive hours you can ever claim for yourself. Think about it. When the world is still quiet, when notifications haven't started buzzing, when distractions are still asleep, you get uninterrupted time to focus purely on you. It's your time to breathe, to think, to plan, and to build momentum before the noise of the day begins. People who win in life don't leave their mornings to chance, they design them with purpose. Rising early gives you a powerful psychological edge. You're no longer reacting to the day, you're creating it. You begin your morning with calm and clarity rather than stress and urgency. That mental state carries through everything else you do. You walk into situations feeling like you're ahead, not catching up. That confidence leads to sharper decisions, greater focus, and better performance in every area of your life. It's not about being part of the 5 a.m. club or bragging about how early you wake. It's about using the most valuable time of your day with intention. In those early hours, you can meditate, exercise, read, write, plan, or just reflect. Activities that align you with your bigger goals. Think of it as a head start while the rest of the world snoozes. Imagine the power of consistently spending 1 or 2 hours every morning working on your body, your mind, your goals, before anyone else has even started thinking about theirs. The key, though, is consistency. Waking up early once doesn't change anything, but doing it for 30 days, that builds identity. That tells your mind, I am someone who takes control. I don't wait, I act. And that shift in identity is what transforms your life from ordinary to extraordinary. Set the goal that tells ordinary to extraordinary. Also, let's not ignore the ripple effect. When you start your day early and right, the rest of your day tends to align. You eat better, you think clearer, you react less and respond more. You become more productive, not because you're working more hours, but because your hours are aligned with discipline and focus. The truth is, anyone can do this. It's not about genetics or natural talent. It's about the decision to stop letting your mornings slip away. It's about breaking up with the snooze button and making a commitment to yourself. Because when you win the morning, you set the tone to win the day. And when you win enough days in a row, success becomes inevitable. The alarm clock may wake your body, but a powerful morning routine will awaken your potential. Your body is the engine that drives every goal, every dream, and every ounce of ambition you have. But yet so many people treat it like an afterthought, like a machine that will keep running no matter how neglected it is. But the truth is, your body and mind are deeply connected. When you take care of your physical self, your emotional state, focus, and motivation rise with it. Movement isn't just about fitness, it's about unlocking energy, discipline, and self-respect. When you commit to moving your body for just 30 minutes a day, you start sending powerful signals to your mind. You're telling yourself, I matter, my health matters, my goals matter. That shift in intention begins to influence everything else, from the way you show up at work, to how you deal with stress, to how you talk to yourself. Exercise becomes a form of self-leadership. It proves each day that you can overcome resistance, that you can choose what's right over what's easy. You don't need a gym membership or fancy equipment. You don't need to train like an athlete or punish your body. A walk, a stretch, a short high-intensity workout, a bike ride, anything that raises your heart rate, loosens your muscles, and brings oxygen to your brain is enough. What matters more than the form is the consistency. Moving every single day without excuse teaches your brain that you follow through, that you're not someone who just plans to change, you act to change. You act Beyond discipline, movement is medicine. It releases endorphins, which naturally fight off stress, anxiety, and even depression. It clears your head, sharpens your focus, and stabilizes your emotions. Have you ever noticed how a short workout can completely change your mood? That's not a coincidence. That's your biology rewarding you for doing what you were built to do. Move. Human beings are not made to sit for hours, scrolling, slouching, and shrinking. We are wired for motion, for strength, for power. And here's the most overlooked benefit of daily movement: confidence. There is something powerful about keeping a promise to yourself, about looking in the mirror and knowing that even if everything else goes wrong today, you showed up for your health. That confidence leaks into your conversations, your business, your relationships. It's not about having abs or lifting the heaviest weight. It's about knowing you're getting stronger, even if only a little, every single day. Think about this. If you can't lead your body, how will you lead your future? Success requires energy, presence, and mental sharpness. And movement gives you all three. It's not just physical training, it's mindset training. Every drop of sweat is a reminder that you're not here to stay the same. You're here to evolve. And movement, just 30 minutes a day, is the spark that sets that transformation in motion. In a world full of constant noise and distractions, the ability to reflect, to pause and understand your own thoughts is one of the most underrated superpowers. That's where journaling comes in. It's not about being poetic or writing pages of perfect sentences. It's about slowing down long enough to ask yourself, what am I thinking? How am I feeling? Where am I going? Journaling gives your thoughts a home. Instead of letting them swirl endlessly in your head, you lay them out in front of you where you can see them clearly. Because let's face it, most of us are walking around with a storm inside, and writing is how we calm the weather. Just 10 minutes a day with a pen and a notebook, or even typing on your phone, can bring a level of clarity that no podcast, no quote, and no motivational video can provide. That's because it's not someone else speaking into your life, it's you. It's your own wisdom, your own voice guiding you forward. Journaling helps you recognize patterns, the good ones to reinforce and the bad ones to break. It gives you a mirror that reflects not your face, but your mindset. And when you see your mindset clearly, you gain power over your actions, your habits, and your choices. Some days you might use that time to express gratitude. What are you thankful for right now? Other days you might write about your goals, not just the big dreams, but what small actions you're committed to today. Sometimes it might just be venting your frustration, your fear, or your doubts. That's okay. The page doesn't judge you. It holds space for your truth. And that's what most people are missing. Space to be honest, space to be raw, space to connect with what's really going on inside. The more you write, the more you begin to see yourself evolving. Go back a few weeks and read an old entry. You'll see how much you've grown. You'll see how problems that once overwhelmed you have now passed. You'll see how clarity was born out of confusion, all because you took the time to write it down. There is something magical about giving form to your inner world. It's like turning the invisible into something real. And once it's real, you can shape it, improve it, or release it. Journaling isn't a luxury. It's a necessary for anyone serious about personal growth. You wouldn't drive a car without checking the mirrors, so why live a life without checking your direction? Those 10 minutes of writing each day are how you check in with yourself, how you ask, am I aligned with the person I'm trying to become? And if you're not, journaling helps you course correct before the drift becomes a disaster. It's not always about answers. Sometimes it's just about the courage to ask the right questions and trust that the answers will come. The mind is like a muscle. If you don't stretch it, challenge it, or feed it, it weakens over time. In today's fast-paced world where trends change daily and industries evolve overnight, learning is no longer optional, it's essential. The people who rise above mediocrity are not necessarily the smartest, they're the most committed to learning. When you dedicate just 30 minutes a day to feeding your mind, you are compounding knowledge in a way that most people don't even realize. It's not about cramming or studying like you did in school. It's about growing intentionally, continuously, and strategically. 30 minutes may not sound like much, but think about it. That's roughly 180 hours a year. That's enough time to read 40, 50 books. Imagine the insights you'd gain, the mental models you'd build, and the perspectives you'd absorb just by committing to half an hour of learning each day. Whether you're reading a chapter, listening to an audiobook, watching a documentary, or tuning into a podcast that stretches your thinking, it all adds up. Every minute spent learning becomes a small investment toward becoming wiser, sharper, and more capable. Learning keeps your brain active and agile. It helps you make better decisions because you're no longer relying on assumptions or outdated thinking. It prepares you for unexpected challenges, giving you mental tools to adapt, pivot, and thrive. In fact, one of the biggest differences between those who grow and those who stay stuck is their willingness to admit they don't know everything and then do something about it. Lifelong learners are humble, they're curious, they're open to new ideas, even if it means letting go of old ones. That's strength, not weakness. When you make learning a daily habit, you stop waiting for opportunities and you start creating them. You begin to speak with more depth, contribute with more value, and lead with more clarity. People notice. You develop confidence not because you know it all, but because you're constantly expanding your knowledge. And confidence born from competence is the kind that lasts. It's not loud, it doesn't boast, it just shows up, performs, and quietly sets the standard. What's beautiful about this habit is that it compounds silently. You may not notice the difference on day 1 or day 2, but give it a week, a month, or a few seasons, and suddenly you're thinking differently. Your vocabulary is broader, your ideas are sharper, your ability to solve problems increases. You walk into rooms with a sense of preparedness others lack, because while they were distracted by entertainment, you were arming yourself with education. The truth is, you don't have to be extraordinary to start learning. But if you start learning every day, you will become extraordinary. Because information is everywhere, but wisdom only comes to those who seek it consistently. And in a world that rewards results, the learners always have the final word. The words you speak to yourself are not just thoughts, they are seeds. Every day, whether you realize it or not, you are planting something in the soil of your mind. Some people plant doubt, others plant fear. Many plant excuses, negativity, or regret. But those who transform their lives plant strength, belief, courage, and hope through the power of positive self-talk. It's easy to underestimate how much your inner dialogue influences your life. But the truth is, the way you speak to yourself determines how you see the world, how you show up, and how far you go. You are always listening to yourself. Every time you say, "I can't do this," or "I'm not good enough," or "this is too hard," your subconscious accepts that as truth. And your behavior begins to match that belief. You hesitate, you shrink, you give up. But when you shift that narrative, even slightly, you begin to build a new internal foundation. Saying "I'm learning" instead of "I'm failing" can change how you respond to challenges. Start small. When you begin to listen to the feedback of people around you, your subconscious instills in you so many new habits that you amplify even if you think you're crazy. So understand when folks say "you can learn it," or when they say "you can get this," they don't mean the same thing. You can learn it, and you can be anything you want to be or who you want to be if you help yourself to say it. Saying "I'm improving" instead of "I'm not there yet" keeps you moving forward instead of standing still. Your mind is constantly looking for instruction, and the voice it follows most is your own. The power of positive self-talk isn't about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing a perspective that empowers rather than defeats you. You're not denying your struggles. You're reminding yourself of your strength. You're not dismissing the obstacle. You're reinforcing your ability to rise above it. This habit of intentional self-talk is how you rewire your brain, boost your resilience, and become your own greatest source of motivation. Start small. Begin each day with a few declarations, even if they feel unnatural at first. I am focused. I am disciplined. I am worthy of success. Repeat them until they begin to sink in. Throughout your day, especially in moments of stress or fear, pause and ask yourself, what would the strongest version of me say right now? Then say it out loud if possible. Because when you speak with conviction, your brain begins to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with those words. This habit doesn't require any money, time, or talent, just intention. And the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. Slowly, the voice in your head shifts from being your harshest critic to your wisest coach. You'll start catching yourself when negativity creeps in. You'll start replacing blame with responsibility, shame with understanding, fear with preparation. You won't need constant validation from the outside world because your own voice becomes enough. In the end, your words create your world. Speak defeat and you'll feel defeated. Speak purpose and you'll live with purpose. The person you are becoming is shaped every day by the dialogue you allow inside your mind. So choose to speak life, speak strength, speak vision. Because if you don't believe in you, no affirmation from anyone else will ever be enough. So here we are, 5 simple habits. Not groundbreaking, not flashy, but powerful beyond words when practiced with consistency and intention. Wake up with purpose. Move your body like your life depends on it. Reflect so you don't drift. Learn so you don't fall behind. And speak to yourself like your future is listening, because it is. The next 30 days are not about perfection, they're about progress. Dot small steps, daily discipline, quiet wins that add up over time. You don't need more motivation, you need a reason. And if the life you dream of isn't reason enough, then what is? So I challenge you, not next week, not tomorrow, today. Start these habits, one day at a time. Watch how your energy shifts, how your mindset sharpens, and how your world begins to transform from the inside out. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to like this video, leave a comment sharing which habit you'll start first, and subscribe for more content that moves you forward. Share this with someone who's ready to grow with you. Your transformation begins now. Let's make these next 30 days count.